Hello, welcome to Data Focused Python in the fall of 2022. My name is John Ostlund and I will be your professor for this 7-week-long course. I'd like to start out by taking a look through the syllabus. So I'm going to eliminate my own face from your screen here and we'll take a look through the syllabus for the course. Now, the particular syllabus that we're looking at in this video is for my Data Focused Python A1 section. I have multiple sections in Mini 1 of 2022, and I will also be teaching this course in Mini 2 later in the fall in 2022 as well. So some of the time and place details on this particular syllabus will be different from your course. So please take a look at the syllabus for your course to figure out where your course is meeting and when and so on. Okay, so for this particular section, section A1, we will have 2 1-hour and 20-minute lectures each week on Tuesday and Thursday. That will be the same for the B1 section, except that the B1 section will meet in a different room and after the A1 section is over. I think the B1 section starts at 4:35. I also have a C1 section that meets on Wednesday evenings for about 2 hours and 40 minutes. So please, if you're in the C1 section, check the day and location and time for that course. All right, I will be doing, now that COVID is mostly in the rearview mirror, I will be doing in-person lectures throughout the fall of 2022, unless the university announces some kind of change of plan. I do not require you to show up for the in-person lectures. You're welcome to come if you would like. I look forward to meeting you and answering your questions. And of course, by participating in the live lectures, you will be able to interactively ask me questions. But I do post pre-recorded videos of all of my videos on all of my lectures, on YouTube. And in fact, I consider these to be the official lectures for the course, because one of the advantages of doing things on YouTube is that if I make a stupid technical mistake, I can correct it. Whereas if I'm teaching live and I make a stupid mistake and nobody asks me about it, I may fail to notice. I don't make too many mistakes, but in any case. So you have your choice between the live lectures or the YouTube lectures, or both for that matter. Okay. Now, so as I said, my name is John Ostlund, and this is my official university email address, jostlund@andrew.cmu.edu. You can also contact me at my personal email address, which is jkostlund@gmail.com. When I'm teaching, when courses are in session, I'm working all the time, or at least I'm available all the time. I will be available to you from about 10 o'clock in the morning until about 9 o'clock at night, Sunday through Saturday, all the time. Okay? And you should always feel free to send me email messages, and I generally try to respond pretty quickly, certainly within 24 hours, usually within a couple of hours or maybe 3 hours. Sometimes I have to be away from my desk for a few hours, but nevertheless, I do respond fairly quickly to email questions. I will have office hours by Zoom, and in Mini 1, I will have office hours by Zoom 3 days a week, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And these Zoom office hours will be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. daylight time. Now, in Mini 2, at some point we will shift from daylight time back to Eastern Standard Time, and we'll have to make adjustments for time. But at least for my Mini 1 courses, A1, B1, and C1, I will post Zoom links for these office hours Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And you're welcome to come to as many or as few of these office hours as you wish. All right. Now, I will have 3 teaching assistants for each section. I have approximately 60 students in each section. And the teaching assistants for each section are generally responsible for helping me grade homework assignments and quizzes. You should also feel free to email them if you have questions. They may or may not decide to hold office hours of their own. I leave it to my TAs to decide whether they would like to hold office hours or not. Okay? So, what do we assume about you? Well, we assume that you have previous programming experience in some language. Perhaps not Python, perhaps something like Java or C++ or C# or something else. What we do in this class is to focus on fundamental computer programming skills using Python 3. Specifically, for this course, we're going to be using Python 3.9. Okay? And I'm not going to read this whole paragraph to you. You can read that for yourself. There is a really excellent textbook that I want to urge you to look at. In fact, there will be a couple of homework assignments where I will require you to read and try experiments from this textbook. The name of the textbook is Python for Data Analysis, with the subtitle Data Wrangling with Pandas, NumPy, and IPython. Second edition is very important. Look for the one that is published in... It will either be shown as 2017 or 2018. I believe there was an updated printing in 2018. And the author of the book is Wes McKinney. Now, Wes McKinney actually is the guy who developed the Pandas library. So he is extremely knowledgeable about Pandas and also about NumPy, on which Pandas is built, and a whole variety of other things in Python. I want to emphasize that you can access this book for free. Google for the Carnegie Mellon University Library and then do a search for Python for Data Analysis second edition, and after a bit of poking around you will be able to figure out how to access the free online version of this book. You will need to give your Andrew ID email address in order to access this book. Okay, there are some other textbooks that you may or may not find interesting. There's lots of resources online, places like Stack Overflow. There are a lot of universities that have tutorials published online. You're welcome to look at any sources of information that you wish. In addition to my notes and this Python for Data Analysis textbook, I do want to warn you that if you look on places like Stack Overflow, you can't be 100% sure that the answers that you see there are correct. People often frankly just get things wrong on Stack Overflow. Also, because Python has evolved over the years, you may get answers to questions that are based on an older version of Python, which is not up to date with Python 3.9. Okay? Now, we are going to assume that you are using Python 3.9 through having installed Anaconda 2022.05. This is a package that includes Python that was made available in May of 2022. And I have an installation video in the very first announcement for this course that I encourage you to watch and follow along with to see how to go about installing Anaconda. I'm going to make a remark here that isn't written in the syllabus. I will try to remember to post it as an announcement. Many people using Macs have discovered that they have problems with certain applications in Anaconda. In particular, okay, I'm going to scroll down here to the learning and course objectives part. In particular, on a Mac, you may discover that these integrated development environments called idle, whoops, too many clicks, called idle and spider don't work correctly. So on a Mac, I encourage you to install PyCharm. You'll have to do that separately from Anaconda. And my previous students who have been using Macs have said that that PyCharm has worked for them very reliably. Okay, I'm going to back up now. What about grades? Well, grading is broken down into these sections. There are weekly homework assignments, and 20% of your grade will be based on how well you perform on these homework assignments. There will be bi-weekly quizzes. There will be quizzes at the end of week 2, week 4, and week 6. And the quizzes cumulatively will be worth 35% of your course grade. So in other words, each quiz is worth a little more than, well, each quiz is worth approximately 12% of your course grade. Most of your course grade, 45%, will be based on the quality of the group project that you were involved in. And I will say a lot more about the group project in an upcoming announcement. I divide everyone into groups of 4 and sometimes 5 people, depending on how many people are registered for the course. And you will need to develop a product in Python as part of the group. And you will also have to create a presentation of this product on video, and you will need to deliver that video by the last day of classes in October. There are, at the beginning of the project, some draft deliverables that you have to produce, basically showing me that you have some plan for your project and some plan for your final presentation. And then at the end of the course, in the middle of the last week of class, you will need to deliver source code and a final presentation, deck, and a README file, and so on. And then the very last day of class, you will need to provide a presentation video. Okay, don't try to memorize all this stuff now. I'm going to publish all these details shortly. Okay, now for each of these items, the homework, the quizzes, and the draft and final deliverables, I assign a letter grade to each one. And then to compute your course grade, I do that by combining the letter grades according to these percentages. Now, here are the meanings and point values of letter grades according to the Heinz College standards. All right, so an A plus is worth 4.33 points, an A is worth 4 points, an A minus is worth 3.67 points, etc., etc. Now, let's suppose that on all of your homework assignments you get an A, and frankly, you should. I mean, you should work hard on the homeworks, and generally people do get A's if they put in the effort on homeworks. Likewise, the draft deliverable items in the project, you should work hard on those, but don't kill yourself on those, and you will probably get A's for these draft items that you turn in. The real serious grading is on the final deliverables. Okay, so let's suppose that you get A's on your homework and on all the draft deliverable parts. That's 20% for the homework and 10% for the draft deliverables. Then on your 3 quizzes, you get an A, an A+, and a B+. And for your final group project deliverables, you get an average grade of A-. So to convert all of that into a course grade, I would compute your homework contribution, an A times 20%, and then your quiz contribution, your average quiz grade, at 35%. And then we have the draft deliverables, an A at 10%, and finally the A- at 35% for your final deliverables. Now, if you compute all that out, you get a value of 3.84 approximately. Now, if I truncated grades, that would be an A-, but I actually prefer to round either up or down to the nearest grade. And so in my class, a combined score here of 3.84 would round up and give you a course grade of A. It is possible to get an A+ for a course grade, but you have to get the result of this computation here. Whoops. Too much highlighting. The result of this get this right. The result of this computation is going to have to produce a value that is strictly greater than 4. Okay? And the only things that you can possibly get A+ on are quizzes and your source code and final presentation. The best scores I'm willing to give anybody for homework is A, and for draft deliverables is also A. So if you strive to get, if you wish to get an A+, then you really got to work hard on your quizzes, and you really got to work hard and do well on your final project deliverables. Okay. All right, I'm not going to read these course objectives to you. You can read those, I'm confident, yourself. Here is the standard grading scale for Heinz courses. The standard is that on a given assignment, if you get between 97% and 100% of points, you get an A+ for that assignment. If you get between 93 and just less than 97, you get an A, etc. This is the most strict grading scale that I will use. If everybody gets an A, if everybody gets a score of 98, let's say, on a quiz, that means that everybody is going to get an A+. But let's suppose that one of the quizzes is very difficult, and the best score that anybody is able to achieve is 80%. Well, that doesn't mean that everybody is going to get a B- or less. What that means is if the highest score that anybody was able to receive on a quiz is 80%, then by definition that is where the A+s start, and I go down from there. Okay? So I don't create a curve until after a quiz is over and I've graded all, or I should say the TAs have graded all of the quizzes. After that is when I create a curve. And what I'm showing here for the Heinz scale is the strictest curve that could possibly be applied. All right, well, here are the topics, which I will let you read for yourself. Here, more or less, is the schedule. Remember that we will have quizzes at the ends of week 2, week 4, and week 6. Everything must be submitted on time. You will lose points very rapidly if you submit homework late, or if you, well, you won't be able to submit a quiz late because Canvas will kick you out if you try to do that. You will lose points very fast if you submit project-related things late. Okay, the remainder of this is conventional for all of CMU's courses. So I do encourage you to read through this, but I'm not going to read it to you. All right, well, the last thing I want to say then is welcome to the course. And if you do have any questions about anything, about the course material, the grading, the schedule, anything else, please feel free to send me an email at any time, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. All right, take care. Have a good rest of your day.